Welcome everyone back to another episode of Q&A with Sharon's son George. I was my mother's caregiver after she was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Unfortunately, she passed on 1/1/2020, but we started together for Sharon.com in her memory and to advocate for a cure for all those still battling Parkinson today and their families, because no one is ever alone in this fight for a cure. Today's guests, not guests, it's just an honor. We've been talking for some time, but I followed these beautiful individuals for probably a few years, and they truly inspire me, and I just decided to dress up to pretend I'm there with you, but I am with you when you're out there in faith and hope too for a cure. So I just want to welcome everyone to the show. This is a beautiful show, and it's something that everyone listening can get involved with. Running is something that I live by. Unfortunately, due to my own issues, I can't as much, but I do hope to be out there even if I could walk next year. So I want to welcome Megan, John, Ben, Kelly to the show. And this is really a Team Fox, and not just a marathon for Disney, Run Disney, and that's why I tried to find my only hat. I couldn't find the the ears. I found the mini ears, which I probably should have just worn. But these are people who are doing this all really for the love of it, but in their hearts, and also all year round. It's not just really one race, even though this one race is beautiful. But I just wanted to welcome you, and want to welcome our listeners, and maybe we could just start by going around the room and just telling us your name, why you run, and then we'll get to some more fun. Taking volunteers.
I'll go first.
Thanks.
My name is John. I run because I have Parkinson's, and I guess I really don't have a choice. It's a kind of use it or lose it thing. I'm actually Perfect Dopey with Parkinson's, the only person to actually complete every Dopey race with Parkinson's, which is the 5K, 10K, half, and full marathon all on consecutive days. And I've been running with Team Fox since 2018.
Thank you. Welcome again.
I'll go.
Mhm.
So hi, I'm Kelly Morris Rowan, and I joined Team Fox actually in 2010 when my dad was diagnosed. That's my connection to Parkinson's. George Morris was diagnosed back in 2010, and I knew very little about the disease. Honestly, I knew that he was relieved to know it was not a worse diagnosis, but we knew that it was a big diagnosis, and that's all we knew. So we spent a lot of time learning about it, and being away from home, I felt a little helpless, and so looked in ways that I could help with my dad's journey, and found Team Fox while I was living in New York. Relocated to Orlando, Florida in 2014, and was looking for a way to connect to the community down here when Team Fox announced their first ever Run Disney race in 2015, that they were sponsoring a team. And so I signed up and I ran the marathon that year. I didn't connect with these wonderful people until another round or two later, but been running off and on with Team Fox and Run Disney since 2015. And my dad has since passed. He passed in 2022, but he fought a good fight, and it's a fight I'm going to continue until we have that cure. And it's why I love being a part of this journey with Team Fox and all these crazy people too, is that we are all looking for the day where we can put Team Fox out of business and celebrate a race for just because we're crazy enough to run.
Thanks.
All right, I guess I'll go. So I'm Megan. I officially joined Team Fox back in 2017, I think is what we said. But prior to that, I had unofficially worn a jersey out in California wearing Team Fox in 2016. So I still count that kind of like as my official introduction. But for me, I have a very similar story to Kelly. My dad was diagnosed with Parkinson's back in 2009. So that's my connection to the disease as well. He, like I said with Kelly, we didn't really know too much about the disease at the time. It was kind of like, okay, how can I get connected? What can we do? That kind of thing. And then found Team Fox through Disney, and then have met these lovely people and have been with them ever since. My dad has passed away in 2021. So this is also to carry on his memory and to fight the fight for those who are still fighting and can no longer fight. So we're trying to find a cure.
Thanks, Megan. Welcome back to the show.
And then I'm last. I'm Ben Hall. I'm the resident redneck. Florida resident, you name it, dad joke teller, the country bear of the group, I guess. Although I'd probably be boo-boo because I'm not very big. My connection to Parkinson's is with my mom. She was diagnosed in late 2014. I signed up in the beginning of 2015 with Team Fox and ran Disney in 2016 was my first year. Then somehow got attached to John Colwell. And, you know, that's how we all are. And we lost mom in 2017. But, man, the connection to Parkinson's is still strong. I'm here to support, to raise awareness, to raise money, to do whatever, and to put smiles on people's faces, because that sometimes when you're in a situation like all of us are, and we've all celebrated together, we've all cried together, you know, and so we have been there to support each other. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to keep doing what we're doing and to have a good time and to constantly harass the rest of the group.
Well, thank you all for sharing that. I do hope, and if it's okay with you, Kelly and Megan and Ben, if we could dedicate today's show in memory of your dad, Kelly and Megan, and your mom, Ben, and also John, of course, who's still battling today. And for all those out there who, whether lost a loved one like myself due to Parkinson's or still battling today, just again, your time means the world, but you inspire me no matter what. As some of you might know, whether I have 4 back surgeries or ankle surgery, second I'm out of anesthesia, I'm battling to find a cure for Parkinson's because that's more important to me than anything. So I wanted to really start just, you know, I just imagine, I even dressed like it, I told you, but imagine staying there right now running with you. I saw how freezing cold you all were, even though we're actually in Florida, which makes no sense. But what's it like? I don't know the whole picture because I've never done it, but are you actually running through the actual park? What is that like? I know I saw some characters. I would stop to have autographs, so I probably fell the entire marathon. But curious, you know, what's that like? Because I've done like probably 20, 35Ks, but there's nothing as magical as something at Disney World. So I was curious if somebody wanted to share first, you know, what that's like.
Sure, I'll share about the 5K, because I think the 5K is something really special at Walt Disney World because anyone can do it. I mean, once you're up of an age, it is not timed. So all the other races after that, there's a cutoff time. If you haven't finished, there's the magical van that sweeps you and takes you to the finish and says, thank you for trying. But the 5K, you get to run around the World Showcase at Epcot. And so, and the path and of course will differ a little bit year to year, but it always includes some portion of around the lagoon, the water at Epcot with the torches lit and the countries lit up. And no matter how slow you are, and I'm speaking as the girl who's in the last corral who usually ends up walking with somebody, it's still like either just barely dawn, so it's still a little dark, and it is the most magical moment. And you see parents running with kids. We have seen, even with our Team Fox team, people pushing their person with Parkinson's in a running wheelchair. We have, I've had many an honor to run or walk or a combination of both with different people, either on the Parkinson's journey or connected to it. And my one and only dopey year was the year I connected with John for that first 5K, who said, well, you better pace yourself. We're going to do it. So it is really, really magical. And I wanted to say that because if you have people listening thinking there's no way I can do a race, if you can walk 3 miles, and let's be honest, if you can walk like 4.5 miles, because walking to and from getting to the start line, but if you can walk 4.5 miles over the course of many hours, you can absolutely do that race and have your Disney magic moment.
Thanks. Yeah, that sounds amazing. I wonder what the parking is like. And
it's a lot. It's a lot.
What's the training for? Maybe John, you could take that, because with someone battling Parkinson's, I know we have a show on sports and Parkinson's and how it slows the progression. But do you see a big change? Let's imagine back, if you can, before you ever exercise, unless you've been exercising forever. But I'm just curious if you could share with the listeners, has it changed, aspects of your life because of the sport?
Absolutely. So I was actually a distance runner before I was diagnosed. And when I went into my movement disorder specialist and they came out with a full diagnosis, she says to me, she looks at my wife and she goes, I'm going to say something you're probably really not going to like. And I said, okay. And she goes, I'm going to tell him, just run whatever. I don't care. And I was like, sweet. So I get to run. Cause I was always dragging her to races before then. But over time, over time, yeah, it's definitely, my body is slowed down. I have to do a lot more accommodations than, there's always that honeymoon phase of the first couple of years where, you're like, oh, it's not going to affect me, or it's not that bad, or they made a mistake. Everybody with Parkinson's, we all go through the same phase where there's some denial, then there's some, we'll skip the medicine and stuff like that. So I went through all of that at the same time of doing Dopey, and I can definitely feel how my body's just kind of, slowed down a little bit, and I have to be much more methodical on how I train. And then I had brain surgery a couple of years ago, so that actually then altered how I had to like start training and do everything again, because I was so used to accommodating for rigidity and stiffness and such and so on, that now a lot of that was gone. So then I was actually in 2023 was forced to actually start practicing again and doing, going through my running and actually teaching myself how to, run again all over again. So, and it's been a challenge, but it's one that, but my training, I don't do like a normal, like these guys will go out and do, 8, 10, 12-mile runs. I actually split my runs. So I'll do like 5 or 6 in the morning and 5 or 6 at night. So it's not so taxing on my body.
Thanks. Well, just so you know, and you might not want to hear it, but to me, you're a hero, not just to me, but to so many people out there, because there are a lot of people, like my mother was, in her 60s and things, and she loved to walk, but, there's things that unfortunately, due to Parkinson's, they get down, feel loneliness, and really sometimes don't get out there. But you're proving through this show and all the work you've done prior, now, and tomorrow, that it is possible. So I wanted to thank you personally for all you do. I do have an interesting question for Megan and Ben, kind of the opposite ends of the world. So maybe Megan, you can tell us for a moment, what are you thinking this moment you're about to hear go, run? And like, obviously thoughts of your dad's coming back, and just curious if you could touch on that. And then the same thing for Ben, that moment you're finishing, like, I'm just trying to paint a picture, like what's that like, the beginning, because both are tough, I can't even imagine just starting and knowing where you're getting into, and then finally feeling that euphoria, feeling like you're done. But, obviously we still have to keep fighting, but just curious. And as you're finishing up, I'm going to share a few things, but I hope they don't distract you. Please, continue. I just want everyone to also be able to learn this information, and we'll share all the links and all your incredible work, everyone, with the world, I hope.
Yeah. So, with every race, everyone goes through the same feelings of like, oh my gosh, like I'm about to start, like this is what we've been training for, or not training for in some cases. There's always that little bit of anxiety, nervousness in the beginning. And then as you're going through it, you're like, okay, I can do this. Or there are times where I can say like, I think a couple years ago or so where I was like questioning whether or not I could do anything, like do certain things. And then Kelly ran with me in the 10K one year, and then John ran with me again last year, or Matthew was with me. And then this year, I got the honor of running with John during the marathon. And whether he knows it or not, there were times where he pulled me through, even though I was yelling at him about hitting his super boost, his deep brain stimulation. There was times where like he was pulling me through, I was pulling him through in a sense, and just crossing that finish line, it's like there's this mixed emotion of thank God it's done and hey, we did it, like this is a huge accomplishment, like this is something that we just did together. And then it's like, holy cow, when am I signing up again? So there's a whole bunch of mix of emotions going on. There's not really a way to describe it fully unless you're there experiencing it. And I'm sure everyone says something different, like, that was awful, I'm never doing it again. And then 3 months later, they're like, hey, I just signed up for my next race. So, there's always something going on and that kind of thing. And then that added emotion that we have dealing with whether it's the grief in the moment that you're feeling from years ago coming back of like, holy cow, I just did this. My dad would be so proud of me, or my loved one would be so proud of me, or they would never believe this if they didn't see this. And of course, like everyone has their own beliefs and opinions on like what happens after, but there's always that thing of like, they're with me in some way, shape, or form. They saw me accomplish this. And for me personally, it doesn't affect me when I cross the finish line, because I feel like I'm in such a state of shock when I cross the finish line. Like, hey, I just did this. I'm so tired. I want a nap and I want food. It hits me a few days later, or it hits me a week or two later, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this just happened. I can't believe that happened. So that's from my personal experience with crossing every single finish line.
Yeah, our goal in this show, you already know, it's just, even if we just reach one person, then we've changed their life for the better. But I think also in the reverse, as we reach each person through the show and all that you all do, we keep our loved one's memory alive. So, obviously I had the honor to speak to you before, but here's Mr. Gerrit Don, and he lives on, I think, through every one of us. So thank you for sharing that. And then Ben, maybe you could also touch on it. And I
Yeah,
also
absolutely. So my first experience with Team Fox was just a few months after we'd lost my mom, and they actually, John and Kelly and the crew that was there with us that year, we kind of cycled through some other people, what we call the family reunion now, as in jest, but it really is. It's a family reunion for us when we're all back together again. But they helped me deal with losing my mom, because yeah, she would have been extremely proud of me. She was proud of me as a runner, but meeting people that have been through the same thing I had been through, with a loss of a loved one, and people that were going through what I had just gone through, so I could kind of pour into them a little bit. People that had gone through or were going through what my mom was going through. So at every stage of your Parkinson's journey, whether you have Parkinson's, you have a loved one that had it, or you lost someone, there's somebody in that Team Fox family that's been through it that can share that time, because and you guys know from running with me that we talk a lot out on the course, and we share a lot out on the course. And so when you start sharing those things, you build that family bond. So for me, I'm a little bit on the other end of the spectrum, crossing the finish line from where Megan's at. It's a lot of times it's an emotional thing for me. It's a huge accomplishment. Even more so this past year, because I was absolutely terrible at training. And that's why they all snicker when they say about how you train or you don't train, because I'm notorious for not training, and it shows. But I'm crossing that finish line. I'm thinking, man, all these people that have helped me through this are crossing this line with me. I'm so stinking proud of our Parkinson's runners. I promised John Colwell I wouldn't make this podcast about him, but he's a big inspiration for me, and for all of us on Team Fox, because we know he's out there doing the thing. He's showing us that Ben Hall has no excuse for not being out there doing it. So I still don't know if I'm running Dopey, John, but we'll decide that later. But yeah, that's me. It's a huge emotional release for me when I cross that finish. I'm thinking about everybody that's kind of paved this way for us, everybody that's doing the thing now, and what's going on there.
Thanks. As I was going to say, how amazing the family looks like it's becoming. Megan dropped out, so I think we scared her. But I really appreciate you sharing that. And also your mother is going to be someone I think about now. That's why this is, again, amazing. I wouldn't have known that or learned that journey if we didn't meet. So thank you, John, again, for bringing us all together. And Ben and Kelly, one of my favorite pictures I've ever seen, because I've been following you. We've been friends for a while, but never got the opportunity to meet. But I love this photo. Actually, I love everybody's photos, but this one is one that you don't even have to really say much with. It speaks millions of words, not just 1,000. Welcome back, Megan. We missed you. So I just wanted also everyone to please also support our incredible team here. You can go to Kelly Morris Rowan at Instagram. You can go to Team Fox. I'll share everybody's Facebook pages too, but it's very, very important to help them, because guess what? Their effort, their work is nonstop. It doesn't stop. I always say I advocate 24/7. Because Parkinson's disease does not take a break, so I don't think I should, even though I'm destroying my own health, which is for a different show, but it's worth it to me. And the amount of money, the goal is always, I think you probably broke it. So if everyone listening again can go to their website through Michael J. Fox Foundation, who we really truly believe in, and their mission, please support them in that. So that's really important to everyone here. So again, welcome back, Megan. Now, one thing I did want to ask, and then we'll get to a few fun questions and I'll let everyone get back, but I do hope next year either to be there live filming you all, or maybe I could jump in on camera at least for a few minutes. Just, I want people to feel what it's like to be there. It's fun to do these shows because I get to meet everyone, but we've actually started a new show, which many know. It's called On the Virtual Road, since I can't get out everywhere I want around the world. But we've been to Hawaii, we've been to West Virginia, we've been everywhere on the actual field, the baseball fields with Kirk Gibson. We've been everywhere, and just beautiful moment to share because people do love to see what we're actually doing, not just to hear about it. So one thing is a recurring theme today. One thing I hope everyone will leave with is this isn't just about Parkinson's. It is, but it also becomes like a family. I see it just talking to you. I feel like we're in the screen with the Brady Bunch when we with this stuff. But I mean, I imagine I would have a lot of fun with everybody live. So that'll be really interesting. But what's it like to, you mentioned it, but what's it like to all kind of do something and accomplish? We've had Team Fox members who climb Kilimanjaro. We've had many Team Fox events and different, and maybe some of you are involved with that, I don't know, but we've had a lot of different Team Fox events. We've had the incredible team that rode around the world, the rowers. They were on the show, which was a beautiful moment. I'm sure many of you know who they are, Brandon and things. But this one to me is kind of, again, I'm in Florida. I'm from New York, but everyone loves Disney. There's no, hopefully everyone does, and if not, they got to get out there and join you because it's definitely something very different. I don't think it's like any other race you can imagine. Again, I saw Dopey out there. I saw like Mickey. I just don't understand. When I was a child, my mother would bring me and I would ask for all the autographs. So I would probably lose all these races because I'd have to stop and speak to Mickey for a while. So anyway, to kind of wrap up at least this segment, what's it like, building a family and, in the same fight for a cure with so many people. And I do want to shout out to everyone like Susan too, who's not here with us today, but are out there fighting. She's become my family. She probably doesn't realize it, but we've talked for a long time. And I love these shows because I just want even a moment of your time and to share all the inspiring things you do with the world. Because selfishly, I feel the only journey today that breaks my heart is the one that I'm not aware of and the one that the world doesn't know. So that's why, again, I'll say it a million times till you probably don't want to hear it, but I'm so grateful to all of you for your time. But maybe you could just touch, a little bit more since you already did, all of you. I didn't even have to ask the question, but what it's like, what is it like, the first time you all meet and then to go a year later and just keep wanting to come back. Some people meet each other and don't want to come back, but I don't see that with this group.
I think in one word, it's overwhelming. The first year, it can be very overwhelming because you're like going into this room and you're like, who are these people? But then the next year, you're like, open arms, like, let's go. Like, where are my hugs? We haven't seen each other in over a year. So
I love it.
I think for me, it's different. I think there's trust. I have to put a lot of trust into people that don't have Parkinson's and have had them help, just hoping that they'll help me if something goes bad. And everybody on this panel has seen the worst side of my running before, whether it's twisting and turning while I was running, or overheating, or being yanked out of the medical area because I was having tremors at the end of the marathon, and Kelly's literally yanking me out of saying he's got Parkinson's, he's fine. Or it's Megan blocking me, or I have story after story, or how they surrounded me for the half marathon in 2024 because I wasn't feeling very good. So there's a lot of trust on my end, and that's something that took me a long time to build, that I could trust everybody that I was going to be okay. Because if something goes bad and I'm on my own, then I can adapt however, but I don't know what they're thinking when I'm twisting and turning, or if I'm shaking or moving all along. I mean, I imagine that's got to be a stressful situation for them. But for me, it's a family, but it's a family that is built on trust.
Buddy, when you start dancing, we start dancing with you.
That's
so
true.
You know,
it's very true.
You know that. my biggest thing, what's it like running with Team Fox? Oh my gosh, we've been alongside John and Susan in John's Parkinson's journey. We've watched Megan's babies get older. We've watched Kelly's babies. Gosh, when they were born, we all celebrated like, hey, twins. You know, that's how it is. We've watched Lucas the Fox, you know, grow up, turn into be a hockey player. That's what it is. And I mean, my wife and my kids know all of you, you know, and you've watched my girls grow up. So, I mean, gosh, it's that much, but it's about being part of, just like what John's talking about, supporting him and going alongside of him with his journey, and everybody else on the team, whoever else has, you know, a Parkinson's runner, but just walking hand in hand. What's the race like? The best thing I can tell you is they may have hiked Kilimanjaro, but John Colwell and I rode Expedition Everest during the marathon, and I was wearing a kilt. And then we may have chugged a beer afterwards. So that's what it's like doing Disney Marathon.
What Ben isn't really telling you is the fact that he almost threw up on me during that ride.
I did, so. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Yeah, I was going to say too that for me, I moved to Florida and have no family down here. And of course, like I said, the reason I joined Team Fox was to help and honor and support my dad while he was alive. And since then, and it really did become this family that you're mentioning. And it was, John, I love that you shared that you have to trust people, because I felt that the first year you all and a group of people started to pass me. I was struggling on a half marathon. I hadn't really plugged into this community yet. And you were like, oh, there's Kelly. Come on, Kel. And I was like, no, it's okay. I'll meet you at the finish line. And John did not miss a beat. And he goes, you're not going to let a guy with Parkinson's beat you, are you? And it was such a moment of levity in what sometimes can feel like a heavy cause that we're trying to help with, to remember that we are all just people, and we all want a good laugh sometimes, or a cheesy dad joke, or to be given a hard time, or a mom friend to finish a race with. And so I sure did finish that race side by side with John. And it was the next year I ran the Dopey, and this marathon that he's talking about, that particular Dopey, the 5K was about 35 degrees, and every day got warmer. So the marathon finished at 86 degrees. Mm-hmm. And we were just we were baking. It was so hot. But he, along the whole journey, and this, I know it's not just about you, John, but you were part of the story of me and my journey with Parkinson's and this community, was I felt him trust me. He would share things with me about Parkinson's, but it wasn't about John. He's like, oh, what does your dad deal with? Let me tell you how that affects me. Maybe it affects him that way. And then I'd go talk to my dad about it. And I'd say, Dad, when it's really hot, do you feel 20 degrees hotter than you think you should? He's like, oh yeah, all the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, John taught me that. And I learned so much along the way. And it just becomes, like you said, everyone's echoed here, the celebrating, the tears, we do it all together, the drinking, the rides. There's just a bond that's kind of unlike each other. We don't have to explain Parkinson's to each other, but we can continue to help each other in our understanding and growth and support of this fight.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly what I was going to say too, where it's like, as much as John has to almost trust us when he might not even know us that well, we have to kind of do the same thing too, of like, hey, we're not living with what you're living with or what our loved ones are living with. This is, how can we help? Like, can you give us more information on how we can help support them by what you're experiencing? Because we're not there, we're not living it. And just that exchange of information built those bonds for us too, to where it's like, we just trust each other implicitly to an extent, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so we just trust each other completely with different things. And it's like, we can go back and either try and help our loved ones with bettering their lives and their living with Parkinson's, or at least we know hey, when they're hey, leave us alone, we got this, we know we can back off and be like, okay, we got to trust them. They know what they're dealing with more than what we do. So that's kind of that whole bond that has been built between all of us too.
Thanks. Yeah, one reoccurring theme seems to be in the show for the last few episodes is, although Parkinson's, as some of us know, can take our loved one or cause a tough day or two or more, we still not only fight through it, but the relationships we meet and people we bond with is just remarkable. I mean, I've had people with Parkinson's on, and I don't know how, but they believe it was God's gift because of the people that they've touched and people that they meet. So
You know what? I will tell you, and I know this may sound odd. I don't think I would change it.
all right, that's
I
what
would love to get rid of it, but the experience up till now has been life-changing.
yeah. I really
That's
appreciate
awesome.
that. This is where we move into something called the lightning round, but here we're going to do extra lightning fast because I don't want to keep everyone too long. But instead of 3 words, can each of you go through the room and list 1 word that might describe who you are? Megan, you have to use a new one because you already did all.
John said I can't say that on here.
Well, I don't think children listen, so you are.
No, I'm kidding. I'm country. I mean, I'm country. That's
Right.
it.
I love it. Oh, this is a tough one. Anyone?
Outgoing. I'll say outgoing.
I love it. John's not going to hide on this one. What do you think? You can pass.
I don't know. I'll go with a fighter.
That's perfect. And Megan, you don't have to answer.
Dancer. I'm gonna choose dancer for Megan.
All right.
I was gonna say positive.
That's
I try to
perfect.
always find something positive.
Well,
And the next few questions I usually ask one-on-one, but this will be more fun.
Ben
if you
didn't
get it.
go. What was Ben?
Oh,
Ben,
no,
he
I'm
said
country.
Country. He's
Oh,
country.
country. Oh, okay, I missed it.
Country is actually like 20 answers in one, just there. I love that. I just bought a cowboy hat, but that's for another show too. So usually I'll ask everyone, this is all like a team one for Team Fox here in Disney and Run Disney. If you all had one song playing in your ears or your mini ears while you were running through the whole entire marathon, what would it be?
Shake it off.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
John's though. I know John's. We actually had a team behind us that were like walking the whole thing, and they're like, this is a party marathon, and they had like their own speaker that they were carrying, and John was like, play the Wiz Khalifa song. Play the Wiz Khalifa song.
I knew you love this one. And then here's another one to follow up. If you could all write a script to a movie about your experience with the run or just life with each other, what would you call it and what actors and actresses would play a role?
Oh my gosh.
Kelly
Okay,
Rowan
well-
has to play herself because there's nobody else like her.
Oh,
a
that's
good
very
answer.
sweet. Well, if I must, I shall perform for all of you, no problem. Okay, I'm going to give you all 2 seconds to think on your lightning round to answer that, to say that my song that will play in my ears is Best Day of My Life by American Authors, because it played during my Dopey run, and I loved it so much. It was the song playing when my twins were born, and it's always somewhere in a Disney race, and I'm like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. So it would be Best Day of My Life is the song. And I don't know, what do you guys think for the movie script?
Oh gosh, it would be
Megan,
crazy.
Megan's wrong on my song, by the way. My song is Strangers Like Me by Tarzan.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a
Nice.
really good one.
Gosh, who would play our movie? Who would play us in our movie script, though? That's ridiculous. I mean, it would be like some kind of motivational movie of determination. And, you know, I would love to think that maybe I could get Ewan McGregor to play me. But
I would love to be played by an elite marathon runner.
you could, yes. You would have to be.
Can run substantially faster and make me look a lot faster.
Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds has got you.
If anybody knows the actress Bellamy Young, she played the first lady on Scandal. I get that doubling comparison a lot. So, you know, if she listens to the show, I'd love to be your sister, Bellamy Young. But I think I would want to hear the soundtrack to Chariots of Fire. Dun, 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 dun.
I love it. Thank
With
you.
a little Barry White mixed in there for us, you know.
I think for me, it would be Anne Hathaway.
All right.
I would love to have Anne Hathaway because just of her versatility and everything too.
Well, if they're all listening, we invite them back, and you're all welcome back again, always. I do want to thank each and every one of you and everyone for listening. This has been a beautiful moment. I've been excited for it since I saw you probably a few years ago, but I'm really excited this year because Megan has become a good friend of mine, and all the things she does, we love to support. And now we love to support each and every one of you and everyone else on the team who unfortunately couldn't make it, but are always welcome back. Do you have a little something to share with all of you, a little message for being here and everyone listening? But before that, everyone, please again go to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. I'll add the links and support these incredible warriors here and all they do, because they'll be right back out there next year. I hope, at least if I can't be there live, to be there virtually, but someday. I mean, I would love to give you all a hug, but you have to be careful because my back's a mess. So, anyway, we love you, we support you, we care a lot about you, and you're never alone. I, along with all this incredible group, will advocate for you, and together I feel our voices are so much stronger. And I always say, or end the show with, I'm just getting started, because like each and every one of you here on the show, I feel the second you ran through that finish line, you were preparing to go right back at it for this beautiful cause in memory of all your beautiful family, and also John and everybody out there still battling. What an honor. First time, I think, in 180 shows. I'm speechless, but I am really grateful and just beautiful. I mean, there's not much more I can say. So wanted to thank each and everyone again for your time, your love, and your friendship. And this has been another episode of Q&A with Sharon's son, George. Please support Disney Run or Run Disney. Please support John, Ben, Megan, Kelly, Susan, and everybody else who really is not just a team, but a family. And we also, of course, shout out and thank Mr. Michael J. Fox and the entire Team Fox and Michael J. Fox Foundation for what they do. Really, we wouldn't have been brought together. I wouldn't have been aware of what you're all doing if it wasn't for them. So again, I hope to see you out there. I hope it's not as cold. I won't make it, even though I was born in Brooklyn and shoveled snow. That's probably why I have back pain. I'm shoveling snow for a decade. So anyway, I really appreciate everybody. Love you. And thank you also, everyone, for listening. So much more to come. We have a lot more work to do until the cure is at everybody's doorsteps. And after this show ends and the lights, camera, and paparazzi leave, we're going to keep fighting, because we know that the goal is coming, I think, quicker than we think, because of all the people who are making a difference, including everyone on the show, but really all of you listening. So thanks again, everyone. Please share this and support Team Fox. We love you. Thanks, everyone.